You look at is we're going to look at the colors that we're going to be using. We have French ultramarine blue, we have burnt sienna, we have cadmium red light and cadmium yellow light. You could use a different yellow, but to me, the strong yellow, the cadmium yellow, is what kind of makes this either sunrise or sunset. It looks to me like it's probably more of a sunrise. But what we're going to do, look at your colors. This is the first layer we're going to put on, and that's going to be just the cadmium yellow. Then, you see this color?
Just these areas?
No, we're going to do the whole thing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back with cadmium red and a little bit of burnt sienna, and that's the color that you're seeing back in through here.
Halo light.
Like the orangey color. And then who can tell me what this is going to be? What am I going to mix, Jen, to make this color?
Ultramarine blue
And what else?
and burnt sienna.
Well, burnt sienna is going to give you a gray. The red is going to give you a purple. I'm sorry, I put you on the spot. I should not have done that. So this is going to be the ultramarine blue. This is the ultramarine blue with a little bit of red to get that beautiful purple. This is going to be the same colors except much stronger with less water, so we have more intensity. And then we're going to go to ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to make this. Now, so we're going to do the yellow, we're going to do the orange, and I should have said we're going to go back in and put the burnt sienna in there first here at the bottom, and then put the purple up above that. Now, we're going to paint until it starts to dry.
Okay.
And then we're not going to keep painting, right? We're going to stop. We're gonna stop if it starts to dry, because one of the things that's so beautiful about this is everything is very soft and very wispy.
Yes.
It's out in the marsh. So the trees are going to be done dry, and this is all going to be done wet. And we're probably going to do this in 2 sittings. So here we go. Let's wet. Now, I wish I had a rag, and I don't.
Here.
No,
You need
I
a
don't.
big tablecloth.
They're all
rag.
gone.
Oh, yeah, she's
We need
got one. No, that one. That's what she needs.
I just thank you, because what I want to do is try to make life simple. Thank y'all. The last time we did this, there's not a lot of humidity today. The last time we did this, we wet the back first, and it didn't seem to make a hill of beans difference, did it, in how long it stayed wet. So what you can do, just pour it, have some fun, make a mess.
You
I am.
So do you let it sit a minute to absorb the paper?
Well, we're going to do that, Janet, but what we're doing right now is we want the whole paper to be wet. So I'm just going back and forth. This is why it's important to have a rag underneath it, because it'll keep especially if you're working on a flat table like Eleanor has with no tablecloth on it, that the paper will stick to the table. So this kind of absorbs the underneath part. So I'm just going to keep wetting. Keep wetting, keep wetting. And I told Jen I was going to make my lines. I was going to see if I could soften those with a kneaded eraser, and I forgot to do that. All right. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my 1/2-inch brush. Actually, I'm going to use one of these because I'm putting the yellow on first. Now, I'm going to go back in with my yellow. Debbie, I'm so sorry, I've got this on the wrong side. I always tell y'all to put everything on the same side, and I went and did the wrong thing. All right, so let's go back in here.
Yellow.
Holy cannoli. If anybody who needs to borrow a little bit bigger brush to kind of put these flat washes on,
That's a nice brush. I like the shape of
this is one of my dad's brushes. I bought this one. This is my dad's brush. It's falling apart, but I won't get rid of it.
That one has magic on
It
it.
does have magic on it. So I got his dog bowl for my water. Now see, one of the things to think about as you're doing this is you're re-wetting the paper, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. So it looks like you are not putting yellow on every part.
I am.
But
I
you-
haven't gotten there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just continually adding. Yeah, the intent is to definitely have the yellow on everything. But just a pale wash of yellow. I can always come back in and make things look. Now, sometimes what you have to do is use your brush and go the opposite direction. I was just telling Sanjali this with her sky. And then go back the direction you want to go. Now notice I'm working all the way off the paper.
Making a mess.
I know. All right, so we've got our yellow on. Now I'm going to switch to my 1/2-inch brush. Now, you know, I sort of see, but I'm not going to do it. It's like I see tinges of color in there, but we'll do that later. Now, I'm going to come on back in. I'm going to use a little bit of burnt sienna, and I'm going to use a little bit of red. Nope, I'm not. I'm thinking that that's more just red and a little burnt sienna. You know, it's all a question of how much you add. If I'm making gray, do I start with brown?
No.
I start with
blue.
I start with blue. The same thing applies if I'm trying to see. That looks to me like it's almost more just red.
So what color are you trying to?
Right there.
Like that little spot.
Yeah, and see, where you have to remember, you got the yellow underneath there. You know what? I bet it's got a little yellow added. I told y'all I was winging this. Oh, that's it. It's the red and the yellow mixed together.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a kindergarten lesson.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, brother. Oh, brother, it's so good to have you back.
I tried to stand in for you last time when you left early, and they told me I just couldn't cut it.
This is when you just have to, I didn't do lines up here. You have to just pay attention, look at your reference. And remember, y'all, it doesn't have to look just like that one. This is your rendition of Mr. Casso's painting. So I'm gonna come on down a little bit farther there. I'm not gonna cover the whole thing in.
You can
And I
almost
think
do this in pastels. Huh?
You could. I want to get some of that color just a little bit stronger.
So you're trying
Yes,
to do this.
I'm doing that right there.
And then are you going to do the same thing here?
Yes, ma'am. But I wanted to get that color. So now, see, I'm making all the mistakes so that you guys don't have to. What you're going to do is use a fairly strong mixture of your orange and your yellow together. Now I'll mix up a little bit more color. I'm going to come down here and do the same thing. So I'm going to kind of judge that I'm going to go right into here. And remember, the whole joy of a 1/2-inch brush, let me tell you the joys of a 1/2-inch brush. The 1/2-inch brush has a wonderful belly that you can really load up with paint. So, and you need to, if you're covering a large area, by all means, use the belly of the brush. I'm trying to cover quickly. I'm not worried that every little stroke looks perfect.
And so that's the red and the yellow, and you're just starting to add like stronger versions of it, like less, no.
Well, it's the same color I used here, Janet. It's the same color that I used here, but I actually like this color better. It's got more yellow in it.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was making all
So
the
it's
mistakes.
more like yellow red.
It's a yellow red.
Because I'll never remember this.
Oh, I'm going to be walking around with you all. But see, on these big areas, just cover it in. Have a little bit more of that color up here. Don't hesitate to mix up a lot of color. Put a little bit of that color in through here. I want it to show underneath. You can see it underneath that purple. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come back in with the purple, and again, mix up a lot of color. A little bit of red, a lot of water. This is a reddish purple. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. It's not like bluish purple, it's more of a reddish purple. Mm-hmm. Let's see what that looks like. What do you think? More red?
Yeah.
Because see, what you
Yeah.
have to remember is you got all that color up underneath there. So we're gonna come back in here.
That looks good.
Okay, then I'm gonna stick with it, Janet.
There you go. So,
Now, see, we wanna have some of that yellow showing up above. But again, we're gonna come in.
because when this dries, it's gonna look a different color anyway.
This is what we're doing there. Yeah. And again, just kind of covering in. See why I said mix up a lot of paint? Now, as this starts to come up, I may just kind of show some little clouds doing along like this. And then I want to come in and have all of this be the same color. And
That's
again,
pretty good. You got 3 layers on there.
yeah, this is the last layer we're going to
Yeah.
do.
That's good.
Ooh, I kind of like that. All right, I'm going to come all the way down.
And this is this,
Yes, ma'am.
layer.
That we're putting on the lighter, the lighter purple color. And again, if you want a little more red in yours, I'll try a little more red and see what happens.
Would you work with an even bigger brush for this, or is that?
You could,
Okay.
you absolutely could, Jen. Because I mean, they usually say use the biggest brush that you can.
Mhm.
And see what's going to happen is we're going to come back down. Now, this is starting to dry.
That's pretty. That's really.
I may have to stop, but I can get this done in. And the other thing I'll do, I kind of want to, see, I've covered this very quickly and very flatly. But what I can do, since I don't really want to do any more here, is I can come back in and kind of break this up right now. Certainly don't want that looking like it's just a bunch of lines going across the page. So I'll come back in. And kind of maybe show a few of these clouds that we see kind of doing this.
Oh, I keep reminding myself, it dries lighter, it dries lighter.
It does, and that was a little darker than I meant there, Janet, but
But
you
still,
can always spread the color around.
but not until it dries thoroughly.
No, you want to spread it around before it dries.
Ah, there's exceptions to the rule.
No, there's not. Once it's dry, it's not going to spread.
There's too many rules.
You know?
Just go with it, Janet.
Take notes.
Too many rules.
I got mine numbered 1, 2,
Oh,
3,
really? Good
1, 2, 3.
idea.
See, okay.
And see, you can kind of see some little areas in here where there's a few little darker areas. So I'm just going to kind of come back in and break that up.
I've already forgotten step 1.
Yeah.
That's just my brain.
I wrote it down.
Well, we're all going to do this together. So
The first step is all the yellow.
I remember wet the whole page.
Wet the whole page and then do the yellow.
all right, now we're going to stop there.
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, I think what's going to really be impressive is when we start getting this color in there
Yeah.
on top of that. But you all probably will not get any farther than I did. I'll bring this down at least to the line there. Okay, but see how it's drying? That's when you just know you have to stop. Now, the one thing you may want to do, see how I'm getting a little bit of backwash? Just kind of dry off your edges or move your picture so it's not sitting in the wet water. All right, we'll let that dry for a few minutes. We're not gonna put the darks in yet, so please hold off on putting in the darks. She's got her flowers. You wanna help her, Jen? Oh, she got it. Bless her heart. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back in and we're gonna finish the purple that we see here. Now, if any of you all wanna make adjustments to what your orange looks like, this will be the time to do it. Like if you felt you wanted a little stronger orange color up in through here, you could plan to do that. And see, I love my orange here. I kind of maybe wanna get this a little bit orangier. But steps that we're gonna do, we're gonna finish the purple color here and down into here. Then we're gonna go back and we're going to put the burnt sienna in. This time when you wet it, I don't want you to pour a bucket of water on there. No, let me
Why is she looking at me?
Because you're recording.
I don't want you to pour a bucket of water, and this is why. When we put this color in, we don't want it to be so wet that it's doing
Muddy.
this. We want it to kind of stay in place.
Okay.
So we're going to do the purple here, we're going to do the burnt sienna, and then believe it or not, we're going to stop, we're going to dry it, and the last thing we'll do is the two strong darks here.
So
Okay?
the purple goes all the way from here to
The
like
purple
here?
is going. The purple's going to go all the way to here, Dad.
Okay, that's what I missed.
Just
That's what I
Janet
missed.
asked this question, so let me make sure that you all understand. I want you to envision that you're on a river, and this is where the land starts, right here. So I'm seeing the real dense undergrowth that's here. This is fog right along the horizon line. And so what I'm seeing is the fog with a mirror image of what I see up here. So the
And the fog
purples-
is over the river.
the fog is over the river. So what we're doing essentially, let's go back in. Now this is the perfect time. Like I may want to get my purple a little bit darker. But we're going to go back in, we're going to re-wet.
That's a great brush for wetting it.
Yeah, I got this one from Dad too. A lot of these were brushes he had at the art school. But you know, it's wonderful to be able to.
Big investment of money.
There's a couple of things that I want to recommend to you all if you don't already have it. If you don't have a larger, like a 1-inch brush, like this, it would be a good investment. And I can get them for you if you need me to do that. But especially with something like this, the larger the brush that you have, the faster that you can paint. So that's going to be real important. Excuse me, Debbie, I didn't mean to wet you.
It's okay.
I'm going to use this to put in my...
Larger brush. Larger brush.
Use a little bit larger brush. Well, think about it. I mean, you want it to cover quickly, and you're wet. So the faster you can cover, the better off you are.
That's perfect. So I think the more times you do a wet on wet, you get the feel of it.
Exactly, and that's really, I think, the whole reason that you all wanted
Yeah.
to do these. Now, see, I'm going to kind of come back in and break some of this up a bit, but first of all, I want to go ahead and put my purple down here while it's nice and wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, and I'm just going to guesstimate. My purple's going to come down to about right here. Now, some of you all have done this already, I know. So just bear with us.
And where's that light line in the middle?
That's fog.
But where is it?
It's
hiding.
Janet, you just have to pay attention. Give me just a moment. We're gonna make everything darker
Her
around.
brain is on fire today,
This is the
Cheryl.
color that we're putting on. What's gonna make that stand out is the burnt sienna that we put above and below it.
Gotcha.
So here we go. Now again, this is when you want to make sure that your color is not too light. That's going to dry just almost perfectly. Now I do want to come back. I got this too much all the same height. So I'll just kind of come back and, all right.
Dab into it.
And Janet, what we were talking about is when you put in this, so everything, the mirror image, everything's going to be the light purple color. We're not putting on any of the darks yet. What I want to do is let this dry just a little bit. Make sure you have a lot of burnt sienna. Mix up a whole bunch of it. And this is not watery. You see how strong that color is? So you really want to mix this up
But you do it while it's wet.
while it's wet. Now, when you put this on, if it goes, psh, you need to stop. Look at how beautiful. That's just barely, oh, this is called the sweet spot. Now, again, one of the things that you have to remember as well, keep adding paint to your brush. You got to do that because it's going to fade out on you. Oh, man, this is my lucky day.
You're winging it, Cheryl.
I am winging it. So I'm kind of good. Don't ask me how I did it. So get the whole bottom done, and again, of course I haven't finished it yet, Debbie, hush. You could jinx me.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to do that. You're a nice person.
Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
I love you too. You brought me cake.
Where is it?
Did Joe get his cake?
Did we
He
get
did.
cake today? No cake today? Oh, no.
Well, we
All
could
right.
have done her
Now,
birthday 2 weeks
notice,
in a row.
pay attention just for a second. Now, I want you to, I'm doing the bottom first, but notice on a lot of this up here, we want to come in and use our brush sideways and make some of that stuff come up and down. Isn't that cool? So use the side of the brush, and again, keep adding paint in through there. Do something. Brother, you are something special.
He's sitting back there just ad-libbing. That's a haircut he got.
But that gives you that woody look, you know?
Pine
Ooh, I like that.
forest.
Okay, now let's go back in and we're gonna real quickly do the same thing on the bottom.
And you counted the number on the top, so you do the same number of.
Exactly, Gary.
Well,
Exactly.
it's gotta be the mirror image.
Okay, you come watch me while I do it, and you count for me.
Oh, man, this is
You
just-
got you're winging it good.
I'm really kind of impressed. I got lucky. And on the bottom, I'm not going to be so fastidious about that. A little bit.
But on this dark part, couldn't you add a little water to finish it off? Add a little water to the paint?
No, we have to
It's so
re-wet
dark.
it.
Even on the dark part that you're doing now, the rust part or whatever color.
Well, what you'd have to do is just let it dry and re-wet it again. If you want that soft effect, and that's really what we want in this. So now, so again, nobody put the darks in. The purple should come from here all the way down to here, and then go back in, and if you feel like you need to correct or darken up some of your purple, break it up, whatever, and then come back in, test a spot to make sure that it spreads just a little but not too much.
And you wet the whole thing again before you
Wet the
start.
whole
It has to
thing
be
again.
perfectly dry, and then you wet it again.
Mine wasn't perfectly dry.
Well,
It mostly
not-
dry.
yeah.
The part looks like a lemon to me. That's what I thought it was.
And put purple on again down to right here.
The purple's going, look, Gary, if my purple came up to almost where my orange is.
Right.
It's coming all down to where I'm leaving a little bit of orange and putting the purple on.
Okay.
Does that make
Going all
sense?
the way,
Going up all the way down to here.
okay.
But let me I'm gonna go ahead and wet. Linda, I'm just wetting right now. So you finish what you're doing and you'll have, no, finish what you're doing and you'll have a chance to see it.
You're wetting the whole thing again?
Yes, I am. Because now this is the last step we're gonna do, is to come back in and put in the dark purple that you see here, and then the burnt, the real blackish color at the bottom. And then if we need to do adjustments on any of that lighter color, you can do the lighter color adjustments before you start putting in the darker colors. So what
I
I'm,
like colors just fine.
oh, like if I felt like I wanted to have this purple a little stronger up here at the top, if I felt like I wanted my purple stronger at the bottom,
Like, if I wanted my purple in the middle, the horizon line, I probably want it too light. I can
yeah,
just add that next
exactly. This is the time to make those adjustments before you put that dark. And I'm not going to tell you that. Whoop! See, I'm not quite dry. So, moral to the story, that's why you want to make sure your painting's dry before you re-wet it. All right, so I will come back in. I'm going to come back. Where's my bigger brush? There it is. One of the things I really want to encourage you all to do, those of you, my students that are anal retentive about pre-mixing your colors, their names shall remain nameless. Sandy, y'all are welcome to watch if you want. Just wanted to let you know.
All right, thank you.
But by the time you mix your color, your water's drying on your paper, and whatever color you mixed, you're going to lose part of it. So it's really better. This is as you get more experienced. And oh, look at that. As you get more, thank you, Debbie. As you get more experience, didn't that look good?
Brothers
Right.
sleeping
Holy,
on the job.
now I'm gonna come back in here and make this, but you have to learn how to mix on the go. So consider these your lessons in mixing on the go.
So much to learn. So little brain left. So much to learn.
And so little time.
Nobody has
I
to.
got more
about
time
last
than
time.
brain.
I have more guts than brains. I just showed that in what I was doing.
More
Oh,
snark
look at
than
that.
brains.
Okay, now we're gonna have some real fun. The real fun comes now. Let's go back in, and now this is when I definitely would go to a 1/2-inch brush. Now, remember, I'm winging this. So nobody judge me.
Y'all
This is gonna
photographer.
be a strong purple, but see, there's more blue than there is red. And you have to remember there's a lot of, oh, look, I'm putting blue all over my paper. That's gonna be a tree limb. All right, so I'm gonna come in, ooh, I kinda like that. It's a little blue. I'm going with it. All right, so I'm gonna come on back in, and we wanna do this while it's
You're
still fairly
putting
wet.
this is this
Yes,
color.
ma'am, that is that part right
The first
there.
blue, not the last blue.
Now, notice that at the top, I want to leave holes for the birds to fly through, as Dad used to say. And then as I come down, this is when you need to work quickly. Look at how quickly I'm just filling all this in. That's why you got a 1/2-inch brush. Thank you, brother.
And the blue merges right into the burnt umber, right?
I know. No, what? No, there is no burnt umber. What do you mean?
Whatever that
Oh,
was color. I can't remember.
yes, ma'am, it does. But not just yet. Right now, I'm just gonna kind of work it down to about where I think it should be, and then we're gonna really merge with that blackish color. Ooh, I like that. So I'm not too worried about what I do along the burnt sienna right now, because I'm going to come back in and put that nice strong dark in. Now, what happens if I'm doing this and it starts to dry?
Stop.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to come down in here, do the same thing.
Immediately add more water and,
Either stop, add more water.
Thank you. Give me cardiac arrest by adding more water to a wet on wet.
that's all right, I'll get it later.
She will too.
Move, yeah.
It's blending in with your blush. It's a nice shade.
I don't care anymore.
There was something on Facebook this morning that said,
Debbie,
when you
later. Debbie, later.
And I can follow.
We don't need it on video.
Oh, it would have been appropriate.
I'm sure, Debbie, but, oh, wow. Now, see, this is a little bit more purple than it is the blue, but, you know, sometimes you just got to go with what you got. And I still like it.
Mm-hmm.
Love the yellow. I love the peachy. Now, again, you notice I'm having to mix up a lot of paint because you go through a lot when you're doing these wet on wet. So, reminder that, you know, just keep mixing a lot, meaning a lot at one time. All right. I'm drawing a little bit down here, but I can fix that later. All right, last thing we're gonna do. Make sure you get out plenty of blue and burnt sienna and make black. The prettiest black you can make is with these two colors. And then we'll come back in here and I'm just gonna start, oh, that's almost the sweet spot. Notice how it's not spreading a lot? That's what I wanted. Now also notice where your darks are. What is making these gulls stand out?
The blackness.
Debbie, you're good today. She's getting all the answers right.
She saw that on Facebook.
All right. Ooh, and again, you know, you kind of have fun, put it in here. Now notice, again, I'm having to kind of keep adding white, adding color. paint because it's wet and it's really picking it up. Alice, do you mind getting me a little bit more blue? Thank you.
But now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Man, Pam's gonna hate she missed this.
I can relate.
Hi, Pam.
Oh, pretty, pretty. Now, some of this is gonna start kind of coming up a little bit more this way. And then we really wanna start kind of really getting this in dark. I'm gonna put it in dark and then I'm gonna come back and put all my little chops in. And then last of all, and then the same thing would be repeated on the bottom.
Yeah, that makes it pop. So many layers to it.
Notice I don't have hardly any water in here. That's important.
Any water in here where?
In the paint.
Yeah.
Because I've got so much water on the paper.
Yeah, that's a really good lesson.
And see, really, look at how I'm using the brush. Cover quickly. And again, there's my bird. I want to make sure I'm really dark around my bird. Make him stand out. Now, the unfortunate thing, if you start to dry, you know, you're just going to have to stop painting. And we can I have to sit down just a second. My back's killing me.
Even with with this paint, you can't just wet the paint more with this?
No, because you're going for a soft. If I go in and just, I can't re-wet the paint.
If you do.
Because it's gonna, it'll mess. Anytime you put water on a piece of paper that's been sopping wet, the water does this, and so it's going to make the paint do that as well.
But you can just re-wet that.
You can. That was just, yeah, absolutely. But see, you have to. That's when you really have to make sure that it's totally dry, because this dark paint, you know, is going to come up if it's not totally dry. That gives you enough to go on. Everybody got it?
Got it.
Yeah.
So all that color differentiation on the land, you're gonna come back in more like with a drier brush and add that kind of color in here?
Yeah, the dark, the black. Yeah, we're gonna put that in afterwards.
Okay.
Oh, we could put it in now. I forgot. Well, we could. I mean, it's not a lot of it. Now, what you're gonna do though is you're gonna use that black color, Jen,
Okay.
and just fade it out a little bit.
Okay.
And see, I think what you're seeing here, like this is the shadow of where those bushes are, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then that shadow's gonna kind of work its way down into here. Thank you, I didn't even really see that, I apologize. Wish that was the first mistake I made this year. And then you could even do a little bit of that, like over in these areas, that's a little too dark. Now, when you put this on, you just want a very dry brush. You don't want to have a lot of water for the same reason. See, this just kind of gives it a nice little, breaks it up a little bit, doesn't it?
And not
Makes it
even
look
a
more
lot
like
of paint.
fog.
It doesn't look like you're using a lot
No,
of paint.
very, very, very little paint. I want a light color. I don't want a dark color. Some of this might be done after it's dry, but we'll at least attempt a little bit. Ta-da. I think that's enough. All right, use your reference. Make sure you have clean water. Make sure your paper's dry all the way. So we finished up the whole background. Now we get, the piece of cake is here. The piece of de resistance is here. So we're gonna come back in and we're gonna do the background trees and we're gonna do the shadows of those trees. Please notice, these are distant trees. So look how light colored they are. They're not up close and personal. So we wanna do them a fairly light purple color. So we're gonna go in here and we're going to mix up a little bit of blue and a little bit of, well, I'm just gonna use Julie's, it's called dirty palette technique. Ah, perfect purple. A blue with just a little bit of red in it, but you want to have a decent amount of water. We don't want to have these dark. Now, I want you to notice there's lots of these little sketchy small trees in the background. You can put as many as you want, and then we've got these taller trees as well. I personally like to go in and turn my painting upside down because I find it's easier to drag the brush and pull it away from me and pull it off the paper. Everybody has their own technique, and if you don't use mine, I'm gonna be really offended. Develop your own technique. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of start in here in the middle. I'm not gonna do all the trees, but if they start above where this darkest purple is. See this, the darkest color we put in there. So we're gonna come back in and
Blast from the past.
I love that song.
that, Jen, that's great.
Wonder who's ring to.
Now, please don't feel like your tree has to be perfect. Go ahead, Debbie, say it.
I'm being quiet.
You always say, but you don't have to worry about that. Now, these, when you get into doing these little small branches, you don't want your your brush to have a ton of water in it. So just kind of roll your brush off a little bit so that you can go in there. And listen, these are far away distant trees. You're giving the illusion of branches. They don't even have to touch. Not a big deal. And then we'll kind of come back in and we're gonna put this one in. Notice that a lot of these trees go all the way off the paper. But see how I'm just dragging and pulling off the paper? It really, I would love to tell you I came up with this, but this is what Dad used to do, and it works very, very effectively. And he was certainly a tree expert. Oh, thank you, brother. And again, the more raggedy you make them, almost the better, because it's kind of like doing that two-color tree. And so that's all I'm going to do here. Notice that these last couple over here, that they don't go quite out. But then what I think is really effective is going back in and just adding some of these trees. Now, they're not straight. You can crisscross. Some of them go up above where you have your foliage. Some of them don't. But they really add a lot at the bottom. So you would do that all the way across. Now, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn this around. We're gonna see how good y'all do at this. Let's see how good everybody is and who had a lot to drink last night.
Can you just take the paper and do this?
Yeah. Watch this. These are closer to you. The shadows are darker, aren't they? So a little bit stronger color, not on all of them, but on some of them. And the goal is, and I'm teasing about that, you just try to get them as close as you can. So that may be a little darker than I wanted. But you're essentially going to turn this around and you're going to do a mirror image of the tree that you put above. So if this tree angles out this way, here, it should angle out the opposite way, coming back. And now that I'm saying that, really, this is the only tree that's a little bit strong. Well, there's a few that are stronger dark.
Ah.
You know what? He just wants to be in the video. Now, you'll also notice that on some of these branches, because it's water, don't do that. That was it. You can even make some of these branches a little bit squiggly, but not that like I just did there. And then, of course, we would do the same thing with going back in.
It's like the trees are little like clumps of 3 or 4.
They sure are. They sure are. All right. So that's the tree's top and bottom. So everybody get started on that. When I get my Miskit off, I'll show you how to do a couple of birds and we're done.
Nice.
Now, I forgot to get Little Yellow out. Anybody have Cad Yellow out? I just need a dab. Oh, thank you, Alice. So I want you to notice the birds are not really white, are they? You don't need much yellow here, y'all. Thank you, Alice.
The cream.
Just get out a tiny bit so you don't waste it. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use a little bit larger brush, and I'm only gonna demo one of the birds. The rest of them, if I demo one, you'll be able to figure the rest out. But I did wanna show you, you're gonna come back in with a pale yellow. I'm gonna cover him. Now, you know, some of you, looks like you guys did a better job miscutting than I did, because I've got paint showing through on mine. And you know what? That is why God made white paint. So like, see, I did a terrible job on him. But I'll just come back with white paint over those. So don't worry if you've got little areas where you've got paint
So
on
you're
them.
just putting water on right now?
No, ma'am. This is super light yellow, Janet.
Oh, I see, I see.
Can you? I mean, it's just a tint.
And you're covering the whole bird?
Just cover the whole bird.
Stuff in here that it didn't have.
Now, the farther away you go, you notice the less detail there is on the birds. So you're really not going to see detail until you start getting down into here. Although you do see a little bit of his beak sticking out the front there. Let me see if I can. I'm doing this just to dry it, y'all. So I want to take the time to blow dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in, and you can actually see where there's little darker areas, like in the shadow right here. Is that showing up on the video, Julie? See the shadow right here? The little bit of darker yellow, little bit of darker yellow in through here, little darker yellow there, same thing here, a little bit on his wing. All you're going to do is mix a little bit of your, do I want to do that? Yeah, a little bit of your red in with your yellow to come back in. And some of you, if you haven't drawn your, I think I want more red. See, the other option you have is using burnt sienna. Oh, I kind of like, no, I don't like that. I think I'm going to switch and use burnt sienna instead.
There's some.
Thank you. So we'll use a little bit of burnt sienna mixed with that yellow. And if it's a little dirty palette, don't worry about it. This will be a prettier color. Remember we talked about using the red up here? We ended up using the burnt sienna instead. It's very pretty. Now some of these areas, like right here, we can come back with a little bit of white. Put that back in again. On this wing, I'm just gonna kind of come in. What you're seeing here is the feathers being just a little bit darker right along that edge. And then his head's gonna be white. I'm gonna have to let that dry just a little bit. The wing actually comes up like this. And that's where his body is, up underneath there. Let me let that dry a little bit. While that's drying, Julie, can you pause it just a second? See, that little bit of a yellow, look at how
Did you get all the Miskit off?
I didn't take the Miskit off of
That was
those
what I
yet.
was wondering.
But you notice it gives it such a glow that you can see it on the birds. It's almost like the sunrise is coming up and it's hitting the top of their bodies. But look at how much of that beautiful color that you see on there. Anyway, so now that it's dry, are we videoing again, Julie? See, I'm gonna come back in. I wanna actually put a little bit, I'm gonna add a little more color. Sometimes you have to play with color. Oh, I like that. Now that's a little bit more yellow added to the burnt sienna. And I'm just trying to kind of show where those feathers are. And I may come back down in here, right on those tail feathers. Put a little bit of that in through there as well. And that's really all the yellow I see. Now I'm gonna go back with black or just a dark gray. So we're gonna mix our blue and actually, yeah, that's it. Blue and burnt sienna. This color is what we're putting on. We'll put the middle tone color on first. The body starts here. So this is the wing. Get that little bit of a white edge that goes around. I'm putting in the middle tone color that you see there. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a really white bird, meaning you did a good job miscutting, then you can leave this area white and then just kind of let this middle tone color fade down into there. And if not, like what I'll do when this is dry is I'll just go back and put a little bit of white paint in there. Now I want to also come in, and you see the little bit of his body showing right there? Show that little bit of his shadow right underneath the wing. And then last step we do is to go back in. Maybe. Oh, perfect. Now notice, if you really look at what you're working from, notice you get this little bit of his shadow that comes down like this. And then look at how, you just dry your brush off a little bit. Look at how you're starting to kind of almost see some of the feathers. Woo! Pretty good, huh?
Ooh.
He just has to be in the video. I love it.
The director.
All right, the last thing we're gonna do, let's go back in, put that little bit of dark on his belly. Oh, you know, I forgot something. I forgot he's got another wing. Fade that out just a little bit. And again, if you lose your white down there, no worries. We'll go back in and use a little white paint. Now, I forgot to do, see on this, the wing twists here at the end. So right here, we want this grayish color that we used on here. We want that gray middle tone to be here.
You know right where to put the paint.
Well, I'm guessing. Look, this is it's your heron. I wouldn't worry about, nobody's gonna question whether you put anything in the right place. Let me put see now mine's so dark, I'm not even sure. In this case, anybody have a little white, Chinese white I could bum?
Well, it's probably not the brand you like, but
Oh no, I'll take any brand. Thank you, Janet. I just wanted to show you, like on some of these, like the whole purpose, you notice that the darks are around the birds to make the birds pop out. Well, sometimes like in here, that got a little bit too dark. So you know what I can do? I can come back in with just a little bit of white, and I can just suggest the top of his beak.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Lots of directing going on in here.
You know, it's always nice when it works out, isn't it? And then this kind of comes through. And then it's going to be black right there. And then I'm going to show that little bit. It didn't have to be white. Woo! All right, and then I'll go ahead and show you all, like right here. We
Must
can
be
come.
wearing apparel.
Now, the one thing that I will tell you all is if you're working on a bird, don't put white on. Like on here, luckily, if I had to mess up my Miskit, I did it on a bird that really didn't have a whole lot of shading. There's a little bit of gray, light gray at the tip of his wing, and you'll see a little bit there. But you know, you would do the whole bird and then come back with a little white afterwards, and I can help you fix those if you need to. But like right here, we'll maybe pop a little bit of that white in. Might have to do a couple of layers. I'm not sure how Janet's brand works. And then last of all, gonna come back in with a little bit of black and just show this little area where the wing. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So how I did this is gonna be exactly, I'm sorry, I gotta do this, it's driving me crazy. Let's see, I can go back in and touch that up with white. How I did this bird is how I'm gonna do each one of the birds that has color on it. And then the ones at the top, really, all you're gonna do is go back in and just put your yellow wash on those. Got it?
Brother, can you lead us now, please?